gossip and entertainment only. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. So, we're going to do two quick stories here for you. So, the first one is about Zahara Jolie Pitt. Now, who's Zahara Jolie Pitt? She is the daughter of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. So, if you remember, Angelina Jolie adopted Zahara from Ethiopia. And then a couple months later, she started dating Brad because she was under one. I think the cutest picture ever is when Brad was holding Zahara and she held on to him like for dear life because it was like paparazzi. She wasn't one yet. And then, of course, Brad Pitt adopted Zahara. So, yes, Zahara, she goes to a HBCU, right? HBCU. And guess what? Her fiance, allegedly, we're not quite sure if they're engaged. There are rumors that they're engaged, but he's a black man. He is black, yes. Or, African American, but he's black. Now, a lot of people would think with Zahara, having her white mom and dad, her white siblings, then she has two other siblings who are not white. Pax is from, hold on, let me see. Pax is from Vietnam and Maddox is from Cambodia. So she's the only black child in the family. You would think, maybe she would go more white. But, going to a HBCU, maybe that kind of broaden her views more, right? Because she wanted to go to a school. When you grow up with people who are not like you, sometimes you want to be around people so you get to know not even know yourself, but know your not even culture. Because her culture would be, with Ethiopia if she wanted to go that part. But just to identify with people who look like you. Let me put it that way, right? It sounds a lot better that way. So, yeah, she went for a black guy. And I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sorry, I'm one of those people, I don't really like to talk race. But we live in America. And in America, everything is black and white. People see everything. And I'm sure African Americans are shocked that she went with a brother, as they would say. But yes, so we're going to read a quick article because they were spotted at Disneyland together. Now, I did not know Zahara had a boyfriend, but yes, and it has to be serious if people are already speculating that they might be engaged. So this is from Page Six. And he's a cute guy. It says Zahara Jolie Pitt, 20, and her boyfriend sport matching outfits at Disneyland as engagement rumors swirl. Zahara Jolie Pitt and her boyfriend Elijah Cooper were spotted holding hands at Disneyland after fueling engagement rumors earlier this month. Again, I didn't know she was dating. I did not know she had a boyfriend. And, social media, come to social media, you find things out. The pair sported matching outfits, white t-shirts and jeans during their sweet day date in Anaheim, California on Friday. The daughter of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, 20, wore Minnie Mouse ears while Cooper had Mickey Mouse ears on, of course. Look at them. Oh gosh, they're so cute. They're so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm saying it. I'm not even showing you the picture. I'm going to do it. It says Zahara and Cooper, a college student and actor. Oh, he's an actor. Were seen walking hand in hand around the theme park before taking a spin on Tiana's Bayou Adventure ride. At another point, they took a break from walking and spent some time in Star Wars Galaxy Edge. She noticeably wasn't wearing a ring on her finger this time around. Oh, so I guess she had a ring on. That's why people were speculating. Got it. The pair sparked engagement speculation on June 10th when Zahara was spotted wearing what looked like a massive diamond on her ring finger. In the photos obtained by Page Six, the college student appeared to be keeping a low profile by wearing a black baseball cap pulled over her face as she walked to Cooper's car. The couple who were leaving Craig's in West Hollywood, California, could be seen smiling behind the wheel before driving off. Zahara is one of Jolie and Pitt's 6 children. The exes also share Maddox, 23, Pax, 21, Shiloh, 19, and 16-year-old twins Knox and Vivian. Jolie's rep did not immediately respond to Page Six's request for comment at the time, and Pitt's representative had no comment. Jolie and Pitt tied the knot in 2014 after their very public romance on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They called it quits just 2 years later, but didn't settle their divorce until December of 2024 last year. Zahara seemingly took her mother's side throughout the split and dropped her dad's last name when announcing her induction into the university's Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated sorority in 2023. According to a recent report, Pitt's relationship with several of his kids remains strained, though he has allegedly made several attempts to reconnect. Now, the rumor with Brad Pitt and his kids are that incident took place on a flight when they were on a private jet. I don't know if he hit his kids or if he hit Angelina, allegedly, but that's where the rift, they're saying, started. I think there's more going on. We don't know, but for his kids to drop his name like that, and you don't see pictures with him and the kids. So it had to be something major. I don't think, yes, it had to be something very major, and until someone is willing to talk and tell. And again, it's none of our business, but you know what? You're in the limelight. People are going to question things and want to know. So until someone is willing to tell exactly what went down, why all his kids want nothing to do with him, I mean, that's not a good look. Last week was Father's Day, and to see that you couldn't even post picture or none of your kids wished you happy Father's Day, I'm sure that's not a good feeling. You know, out in front, he's smiling and chirpy, but behind closed doors, I don't think Brad Pitt is feeling that good to know that neither of his kids want to be seen with him. Anyways, gossipers, what are your thoughts on this story? Zahara could possibly get married. She's 20. She's young. I wonder how old he is. But yeah, so, congrats to the happy couple. They look like they're very happy, and, unfortunately, there's no such thing as privacy when you're a celebrity, or you can have privacy, right? But it's how you go about not what's the word? Not having it out in public, because you have a lot of celebrities who can live private life, big name celebrities, and no one knows what's going on. But yeah, again, congrats to the happy couple, allegedly engaged. And we're going to move on to the next story. So we're talking Johnny Depp, and he's finally breaking his silence on what he is saying is basically, he didn't use the word backstabbing or anything like that, but it looks like his Hollywood friends, most of them, did not stand by him when he was accused of being a husband abuser, a woman abuser. And if you remember, he had a tumultuous relationship with his ex-wife, Amber Heard, to the point where they went to court. It was a public court where people could watch, and of course the court of public opinion, they don't like Amber Heard, and they like their Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp. So after everything went down, he kind of kept a low profile in Hollywood, but now he's coming back with a major film starring himself and Penelope Cruz. But we're going to read this quick article because he said that he thinks he was a test case for the Me Too movement. And he said he took the betrayal on the chin. So we're going to read this article from TMZ, and it says Johnny Depp says the industry used him as the Me Too test case, likening himself to a crash test dummy in a rambling new interview. The embattled actor sat down for an interview with The Times, and he was asked numerous questions about his relationship with Amber Heard and his excommunication from Hollywood circles. So, when you're in Hollywood, no one wants to be around the person who's getting bad attention or bad press, especially to be labeled a woman beater. No one wants to be around. And the sad thing is, if you have true friends, they and it's sad because it's like, if you have true friends, you would want them to show publicly that they stand with you. But this Hollywood industry, and I would say, like any other job, there's always people out there who want to be on top. So it's not a problem for them to look at Johnny Depp and go, you did your thing, now move on, we want new faces, or we want to go to other people. And then there are people who are still working in Hollywood, and to stand by him, it might look like they're agreeing with the accusations, and they can't afford to lose a job, because we see these Hollywood people and we are thinking they're just living and basking in all this fame and money, when behind the closed doors they're working to survive. It's like, like the regular people will say, you're one paycheck away from being homeless. That's what it sounds like for people in Hollywood. We on the outside just see the rich lifestyle, the big houses and cars and thing, but we need to also realize that some of these people are acting, right? Because the persona is, if you're in Hollywood, people know who you are. You're popular on social media platforms. Then you have to give that persona of, oh my God, I'm so great, I'm so rich, I can afford anything. So back to the article. Depp says he feels he was a crash test dummy for the movement, pointing out how he was taken to task before even allegations against Harvey Weinstein came out. Weinstein was found guilty of sexual assault in a retrial just earlier this month. JD explains there were people in his life connected to the industry, people who even came to his kids' birthday parties, who put distance between them and him after Heard accused him of abuse. Again, these people were looking out for themselves. They themselves could not lose a job because they have so many people they have to support. Johnny says he took his lumps, telling the Times, I sponged it, took it all in, and so I wanted from the hundreds of people I've met in that industry to see who was playing it safe, before adding, better go woke. Depp, who is slowly making a career comeback, including directing Al Pacino and Stephen Graham in the new flick Modi, said he was a sucker for falling for Heard. That's what a lot of people is saying. We don't know this woman, but they were saying she basically was no good. She's now a mom of 3. I think she has a 4-year-old, and she just welcomed twins, a boy and a girl. He says there are people who, when you try to love and help them, will start to give you an understanding of what that malice, that perturbance was in their eyes. It manifests itself in other ways, so sounds like he doesn't have fond memories of his time with Amber Heard. I have to ask Alexa how to pronounce this word. Alexa, how do you pronounce Malaise?
Malaise is pronounced as moulaise. It's a French word that means a general feeling of discomfort or unease.
Oh, so it's malaise, and she said it's a French word for feeling uncomfortable and unease. Okay, then. Learn something new. Okay, so continue. By the way, the whole interview's worth a read, because Depp gets into his past relationships, early days of fame, and even his complicated relationship with his parents. Johnny's career might be moving on, but sounds like he's still not over the way he was treated by his former friends. And again, like I said, for them and the court of public opinion, people can end your career. You know, no matter how much celebrities, they work hard, they do what they have to do. Once it's out in public and people don't like it, that can shut doors for you. Which is sad, you know, because people do have a personal life, but they want celebrities to be perfect, which of course they won't be. So gossipers, what are your thoughts on these two stories? Please like, share, subscribe.